and let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 6:32 p.m. and we'll go ahead and begin with roll call. Paula, can you go ahead and take care of that for us?
District 1 Alderwoman Acrio.
Here.
District 2 Alderman Richard Hughes.
Here.
District 2 Alderman David Emery.
Here.
District 4 Alderman Michael Rodriguez.
Here.
And District 5 Alderman Matthew Martinez, who's running a little late.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise for our pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Nice little flashbacks, just thinking of our hockey team. That was pretty cool being able to see them play our national anthem for the gold. That was really, really cool watching it on Sunday morning. Okay, Council, we're going to go ahead and move on to item number 4, and this is a special presentation and appreciation for Lytle Police Department. And Dr. Wyckoff, you have the floor, sir.
Awesome. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Wyckoff, the superintendent of Lytle ISD, and I just wanted to come before you to thank very publicly Mr. Priest and the entire Lytle Police Department. Our partnership is so important because before we can teach our children to read and write, we have to make sure that we're keeping them safe. And since I've become superintendent of this district, I have just been so impressed by their professionalism, their responsiveness, their visibility. I get compliments from parents all the time about how, in addition to our SROs, they see Lytle PD on our campuses, on our property regularly. And that presence helps our parents feel safer. But in addition to that, we recently launched a new emergency system in our schools where all of our staff members have the ability to use a panic button. In the case of an emergency, it can trigger a lockdown on campus, and that system actually activates an app that your officers have on their phone so that they know exactly where the threat could be at any of our facilities. So since we've launched that system, we have changed the way that we do our drills that used to be completely administrator driven, and now they are completely driven by your police officers. So they are able to, we can push that button, and within 30 seconds they know which door to come in, where to be, and how to get into our facility. And they have just been such great partners in that work. So I just wanted to come recognize all the efforts and the great partnership that we have. So thank you, Mr. Priest. And I also want to say, about 10 days ago, we had a walkout at our school where about 40 of our students decided they were going to leave campus and walk all the way to HEB. And you know that there are lots of areas between our high school and HEB that don't have sidewalks, that are really treacherous for students to be walking in. And so regardless of the politics and the political issue at hand with the walkout, our job is still to make sure those kids are safe. They're still somebody's baby, and we want to make sure they're well cared for. And we are prohibited from engaging with the students outside of our facilities. And so we relied on Lytle PD to keep them safe during that walkout. And so regardless of where anybody lands politically, the ability for them to make sure that the kids were safe, that the public wasn't cheering and jeering in a way that was going to harm others in the community, just really made us rest easier knowing that the kids were safe while they were taking that action. So again, just want to thank you and your officers for everything you did that day and every day keeping us safe. So thank you so much.
It's definitely, I mean, obviously without support from the city, we can't do anything. So it all starts, it comes down, Zach, we have to have the resources and the training, and that's why it's such a, it's such a team to try to, do what's right and keep people safe at the end of the day. Again, I don't, politics aside, anything aside, it's really ours is don't hurt yourself or anyone else, nobody gets hurt. That's really what it comes down to. Very simple, very basic. And that's kind of.
Come on up.
We appreciate it.
Well, I would award something fancy if I had known this. I guess I need to start reading.
Get you in the middle.
Darn.
And council,
And
we'll get you in the back.
What's surprising is we actually got the real you. I figured the mayor would bring that cardboard thing.
My school board is actually meeting right now doing my mid-year evaluation, so this was a great
Well,
excuse for me to step out.
Gosh darn it.
There you go.
We sure appreciate it. That's what we do. We're here here to help. That's about all we do. Well, we do a few other things. Mostly what we do.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yes, anything you need, you can call.
No, thank you, Dr. B, appreciate it, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. Go Pirates! Who said blue? There's no blue around here.
Who do you think?
I think we need an employee to kind of remember what colors the paycheck comes from.
Hey, that wasn't me.
There's a guy in the Blame him.
It's all good. All right, council, thank you so much for that. And once again, to echo Richie, yeah, spot on. Spot on. I'll talk a little bit more on the information portion of it, but thank you for everything that you all do. It is a team effort, and you guys do a wonderful job, and it's great to take care of our folks. All right, let's go ahead and move on to item number 5, council, and this is going to be the citizens to be heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the city council on any issue or any item of the agenda in compliance with LGC section 551.007. City council may not discuss any presented issue, nor may any action be taken at any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169. So looking at sign up, I do not have anybody sign up for citizens to be heard, but we still want to offer the opportunity. If anybody would like to speak, going once, going twice. All right, Paula, if we can go ahead and show no comments provided in item number 5. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 6. This is the open session. Take action on items discussed. A, consideration and possible action concerning approval of the minutes from February the 9th, 2026.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes from our meeting dated February 9th, 2026 as presented.
Got a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas, motion carries forward. Thank you so much, council. Let's go ahead and move on to item number B. Consideration and possible action concerning Resolution 26-10, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a license agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas, and 109 Capital Partners LLP for an atmospheric water tower construction and operation, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date. Zach.
All right, so Mayor and Council, I know we've had a couple conversations behind closed doors regarding this particular agreement, but tonight we are presented with a license agreement for y'all's consideration between 109 Capital Partners and the City of Lytle for a atmospheric water tower to be operated and constructed out on our wastewater treatment plant property. So the license agreement in pretty good terms basically outlines that they would use approximately about 5 acres, give or take, of our wastewater treatment property to place that tower, operate it, maintain it for really what we're calling a 2-year period, and that's basically to give them 12 months for, up to 12 months of construction, because it does take some time to get it obviously up and running, and then a 12-month period of operation. And then during that time, there'll be discussions obviously with, hopefully it is as successful as we think it will be, and we can discuss further options down the road as it relates to the equipment. But of course, the equipment itself, at this time, there's no discussion in the license agreement of leasing or buying the equipment. It's just to use the property for this purpose and then ultimately do their testing through this pilot program that they're running. So the attorney that represents the 109 Capital Partners is here, so if there's any questions regarding the license agreement, they worked hand in hand with our attorneys on crafting this. as late as Friday, they were still working on it. So that's why I did send out the copy right before the meeting and a copy of the actual resolution, and the license agreement is on the dais for y'all as well this evening. So if there's any questions for myself or for the attorney, we're happy to answer.
I have a question for you, Zach.
Sure.
I know the size of our area, I know we have plans, nothing definitive
Yeah.
about expanding the size of our waste treatment plant.
Yes.
And they're going to use up to 5 acres for their project.
Yeah.
Will they encroach at all on the area that we're planning to expand in?
No, sir. And they've been out to the site with me, and we've discussed where we are going to be doing any sort of expansion. So they'll be completely out of the area, no interruption to that at all.
Was there a time frame agreed on?
As far as, so it's a,
What warrants the completion of the project or the part of the project to where they consider it? I see 12 months, but
so there's a
is there any
12-month,
extension time or?
yeah, so there's a 12-month construction period basically, and then a 12-month for them to actually do the testing on it. And then within 12 months of that period, if we don't come to some sort of agreement to keep it there or anything like that, they will have to remove the equipment at their cost.
So
as
the
well.
initial 12 months for the construction, then within the next 12-month period?
So there's gonna be a 12-month construction. They think they can exceed that, but
Right.
we're giving them some cushion within that. And then a 12-month period on top of that, so 2 years, right, at that point. And then if we don't come to some sort of agreement down the road or anything like that, then they have up to 12 months to remove the equipment as well.
And
So,
that was agreed upon inside there, because I know that's one of the
Yes.
subjects we
Yes.
talked about.
yes, all that is in there. Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. Yeah, and they will be providing performance bonds, so that way if for some reason they don't have, they fold or anything happens, right? Just like we do on subdivisions, development and stuff like that, we ask the performance, so in the event something happens, we can go in and basically take care of it and remove it ourselves if we have to.
What about insurance? So
Yeah, so all of
They
that's,
bring
all,
insurance with
yes,
them?
all that is in there.
So obviously, not having read it, it's an evaporation process.
Yes.
There was no projected use of city water?
No, no.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, and the agreement contemplates that any water received from the program will be ours to use during that time. So obviously it'll just be gray water, but we can sell it, we can use it for our own purposes. I mean, there's a whole litany of ways to use that water. So the idea is any water that is, comes out of the project would be ours and free to use. So.
Do you know, Zach, they're not jumping into this as a first-time event?
Yeah.
Have they tested this concept somewhere else? You know?
So there was a test in
Small scale, maybe?
Yeah, so there was a test in Argentina, but there were various. This is kind of a much more thought out and more advanced, that they've gone with it, right?
Mhm.
There was political issues in Argentina and things like that caused them to kind of have to move on from that particular location and what they were doing. But they really want to do something here to really see that, it can be done here in the States and with the regulations and everything. AG3, who we use for various things, they're the ones going to be engineering everything, so they're going to make sure that it's actually brought up to, Texas engineering specs with the design and development of it. But so they do have some sense of an idea, but it really is starting from scratch in a way because one, the technology has changed quite a bit, and then two, there's just a lot more factors like TCEQ that they didn't have to deal with, when they were there in Argentina. So, yeah.
One more question. 109 Capital Partners LLP.
Yes.
Is this an American-based company?
They are. Yes.
So it's not a foreign owned?
No. No. They actually are. I think the primary is out of Wyoming. You may be able to.
Good evening, Council. My name is Newty Dean Kalam. I'm with Killing Griffin and Fairmont. We represent 109 Capital Partners. They are a Wyoming-based company, so they're a domestic entity, and the individuals behind that company are also the state council.
Well, I don't think we asked that question yet. I didn't see anywhere in the literature, just wanted to ask.
Yeah, of course.
So the water that's gonna be produced there is, it says atmospheric,
Yeah,
which is the air, not the ground?
yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Pull
So
water
it's
out of
pulling basically humidity out of the air, for lack of a better word, and converting it to water.
Council?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept Resolution 26-10, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a license agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and 109 Capital Partners LLP for atmospheric water tower construction and operation, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary and to effectuate such an agreement and provide effective date today of February the 23rd, 2026.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Can't wait to see how it works.
So, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your all's time and
We look
consideration.
forward, and the release of further information too. in the
Absolutely,
future.
we'll need open communication.
I think it'll be pretty good. I appreciate it, but thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Definitely help this project.
Yes, that'll be good. All right, let's go ahead and move on to C, and this is consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 26-11, a resolution for City of Lytle, Texas, declaring certain property as a surplus and authorizing sealed bids to be received for its purchase and setting a minimum bid amount, and providing an effective date. Zach?
All right, so Mayor and Council, the primary reason behind this particular item is for the hopeful sale of the police cruiser that will be going out of service given the purchase of new vehicles by the police department this current budget season. So that was really the impetus behind it, but we do have a bunch of other just random stuff around the office here, as well as in the library and things that really need to go as well. So I know in the past we've used just a normal kind of auction time to do that, but if we're already doing sealed bids for this, we can, multiple things that they could, bid for and offer it. So that's what we're proceeding with. I will say on the vehicle, I think we had put in the budget for potential asset sale of $1,000. So hopefully at minimum, I would say $1,000 on the car, but obviously that is up to y'all as far as what y'all want to do as far as a minimum bid is concerned, at least on that piece. The other will just kind of come as, we'll kind of make a good estimate on what's being sold. Most of it's printers and things like that, so.
This is the Challenger Charger?
This is the Charger. Yeah.
2019 Dodge Charger.
It's all rebuilt now, right?
Well, 3 or 4 times probably.
You ever seen the movie Christine?
Can we,
I'll put a bid right now.
Can we make sure that it's written as is?
Yes, yes.
Make sure all the language is.
Yeah, Chief and I have already talked about that, and I know that that's been a problem in the past, so yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 26-11 as presented, and with today's date, February 23rd, 2026.
And we're gonna go ahead and keep the minimum bid at 1,000. That's what we're gonna be
With a
shooting
minimum bid of $1,000
On the Charger.
on the vehicle. Yeah, we're gonna have other items, so
Right.
we have them separated, but it's a good opportunity. Second it? Okay, Richard is seconding it. All right, any further discussion? What, we have a tentative date, or?
We just gotta pull everything together, and then we can let council know, so
Okay.
once we have all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the
Get it
car's
out.
ready when you are.
I know last time we had a good turnout too, so we'll get it out with plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll get everything together and make sure we have everything, and I've gotten the list from the library and a couple others, so we'll get all that together and put prices on them.
So anything that we can use, might as well. State, if you got any stuff, Anything that pops up, we can put it in there. That'll be good. All right, with that in mind, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all yeas, thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and move on to D, consideration of possible action, bless you. Possible action concerning ordinance 26-05, an ordinance of the city of Lytle, Texas, declaring proposed candidates, bless you, in May the 2nd, 2026, general city election elected to office, providing for incorporation of preamble, canceling the May 2nd, 2026 general city election, providing a severity clause and an effective date. Zach.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we had only one person for each of the open positions for District 4, District 5, and the mayor position. We did receive 2 applications for District 1, however, before the deadline of February 13th, that other individual did remove their application. And so District 1 only has the one remaining application for that position. And so obviously as such, we can go ahead and move forward with canceling the upcoming scheduled election.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve this ordinance 26-05 with the effective date today, February 23rd, 2026, as presented.
Okay, we got a second? Okay. Any discussion? Okay, the other gentleman's the last name Vasquez, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so council, I just want to go ahead and I want to pass on a little bit of background on this, because this is the type of community that we actually have. And I thought it's a great thing, and I don't want to miss out the opportunity. So Mr. Vasquez was very interested in being part and being able to help the community. He wanted to be in some way associated, and he said, why not under the council? So he did that. But the value that goes along with that is when he actually found out how much the election was going to cost, and looking at Anna and her and what she's been doing here and making a difference in the council already, he felt that it was very important that we actually save our taxpayers money. So he decided that it would be the right thing to do and to actually withdraw himself from the actual election, knowing that he could still contribute in other ways, or maybe in the future, the opportunity, but at the same time be able to save the city some money. And I thought that was very respectful for him to do that. So I didn't want to miss out the opportunity to let you know. And that just tells you the caliber of the community members that we actually have and how much they care. So that's a good thing for our city too. And I can see him getting involved in different ways.
And maybe any of the other offices that we have, you can go for maybe?
In the future, there could be a possibility. So we did, I think Zach had talked to him about maybe the possibility of a committee or some of the other places to get involved too. So yes, definitely a good point to be able to do that. But that just tells you, I mean, that's pretty respectful, very noble for him to actually make a decision like that to be able to save us. Because it's not cheap. I think it was $27,000. Yeah. So that's pretty, it's something very important. We can't miss out the opportunity. So I just wanted the council to be aware of that. Okay, with that in mind, council, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you so much. That takes care of B. Let's go ahead and move on to E. Richie. It's a consideration of possible action concerning the 2025 racial profile report presented by the City of Lytle Police Department. Take your time.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna start coughing, maybe.
And you can flip through it with that if you want.
There's really not, there's so many pages.
Yeah.
So again, this is our annual report. We're required, since council started doing these maybe over 20 years ago. Key points being, all law enforcement agencies that conduct traffic stops are required to file these reports. And we keep this data based on that, everybody, that's how we get it from every traffic stop. And we do it monthly and we add it all together. Some basic numbers, 2024, we had a total of 4,310 traffic stops. 2025, we had 3,961 traffic stops. What's important, what matter, I don't know. Something we've always looked at is a race or ethnicity. That's that number 4 up there. You see largest percentage, of course, and this is just stop, not, just the stop, total stops. 3,028 or 76.45% Hispanic, 21.18% white. And these are state breakdown. They break them down in Alaska, Native American or Indian. There was 4 of those. Asia Pacific Islander 9, Black 81, 839 white, 3028 Latino, Hispanic or Latino. Percentages 76.45, 21.18. Those are about what they run this last year. The numbers were, we had a slightly lower percentage of white and a slightly larger percentage of Latino, but those numbers have stayed very they just stayed pretty normal. That seems to be the normal numbers that we run into. What else is interesting in here? That's the actual total stop deal. There's 2 forms. One is the one that just percentages. That's what I was going there. 2,446 males, 1,515 females. So quite a few more male drivers than. And I'm not hitting a lot on your Asian, Alaska, Native American, Indian, Asian, or Black, because they're such small samplings that it's not. Majority of the stops were for a vehicle traffic violation as opposed to a vehicle moving violation. A moving violation is a stop sign or speeding. A vehicle traffic violation is your registrations, inspections, headlights. So you're going to make a lot of stops for tail lights, headlights. It might not result in citations, but
It'll be interesting to see now that we don't have inspections,
I think,
how those
no,
numbers
you're going to see those numbers. I think you're going to see those numbers change greatly. We're already starting to see it. Even personally, I'm renewing vehicle registrations and probably thinking to myself, I bet those windshield wipers probably wouldn't pass, or I bet that license plate lights. How, things like that. So
it's good that you stop people and tell them, hey, you got a tail light out.
well, my son got stopped coming back from HEB, got off 11 o'clock one night. He didn't know what in the world one of the guys was stopping him for, and he had a headlight out. So somewhere or another, a headlight out went out and picked up. So, that's that's what we do. If you have any particular questions, there's a lot of data on here. I have access. I think on the website we go back a number of years. We may go back all the way to the very first. I should have looked, but there's a lot of numbers.
Is there any changes or anything that stood out from previous year or anything?
We look at it because you basically got the exact same. The only time we had a noticeable difference was Eagle Ford Shell 2014, 2013. We had a lot of people down here working oil field. Our whites went up and our blacks went up. And I use those terms based on these are the wording there, not to that's just what they call it, the state says. So we saw those numbers because of a tremendous amount of people that were not only moving here, but that were working here and in the area. So other than that, we pretty much see the same thing. You wonder, okay, why is there, 400 stops more last year? There's a lot of factors that plays into. As our city grows, these subdivisions develop, we have to change our patrol patterns. I was here when there was no even lakeshore, and you didn't have a lot to patrol. So now officers are stretched a little thinner, and that's gonna cut into your traffic a little bit. There's a lot of different issues. But no, the numbers are all just about, comparative to, and I've always said before, I'm not a big fan of this. I don't like breaking everybody down. I think that adds to the problem, but that's just my personal opinion. But this is what we have to do. But if you look there, you see a question, again, all this it's pretty much black and white. It's if there was a search conducted, then we have that data where it was conducted. If it's contraband found, we have that data, contraband was found. And again, one interesting point here, 67% of our stops were on state highways. State highway means Main Street, 2790s, 463. That's going to be your state access road. Your U.S. highways, we didn't have much on the interstate, actually. We only had 2 on the interstate this year, which is kind of odd, but the interstate's changed too. You can't get up there and work traffic like you could 10, 15 years ago on the interstate. You can do it, but it's a lot more challenging and scary, to be quite frankly with you. So that's an interesting, I always look at that. The actual city streets, 31% of our stops were on city streets, which is quite a bit. That means the officers are actually out there in the neighborhoods and on the city streets working. I mean, we're not, the old, I remember years ago when I was a kid, town had one cop and he always stayed on Main Street. He never left, that's the way it was. You never left Main Street, and that's all they did. But, we're out, we're hitting all the streets, and stops, 30% of the stops are on city streets. So, that's kind of where we are.
So one piece of information I would be curious about, and I know you have the data for it, but probably don't tabulate it, would be the amount of incidences on Lytle citizens versus visitors. And I would imagine that's going to increase as we start developing even more.
So, just like, for example, I was working somewhere during the holidays. I made about 2 days in a row, I made about 21 stops for speeding. Wrote about 15 speeding tickets. And I did not stop one single person that lived here. But, yes, as we become more residential, you're going to have, of course, we have a bunch of commercial, that's going to offset it again. But really, we mostly deal, unlike code compliance, which deals with people that either own property in the city or live here normally, our involvement is entirely different. The majority of people we arrest, the majority of people we stop, the majority of people we deal with, unlike their vehicle, they don't live here, they live somewhere else. So yeah, it's just a different dynamic, and that is because we are a hub. We're a hub, which that makes us successful is because people come here. If we were out in the middle of West Texas and didn't have any major road, then you'd be stopping the same people over and over again.
And that's an important factor to keep in mind when you see these numbers. These numbers don't represent necessarily Lytle citizens, but they represent the amount of traffic we have.
And the fact that you're on when all this started out, there's always different things. Well, if you're on a major highway, especially one that leads to Mexico, you're going to have a larger portion of, maybe Hispanics. If you were closer to the Canadian border, you're going to stop more Canadians. I mean, it's just potentially. But yeah, we're, it's just what it is. I mean, it's.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2025 racial profiling report as presented by the City of Lytle Police Department.
Got a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second?
And these all are on the state's website. We have to post them. They're on our city website, but they're also on the state website. So you can go anywhere and look at, their numbers and, it's kind of.
Second, anything else for discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you, Richard, appreciate that. Good.
Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit.
You're good. Okay, let's now move on to item number 7, department reports, and here we go. Finance director, yay.
Well, I don't have much to report, which is a good thing. What's wrong with? Okay, we should be around 33% right now. The only one that's a little bit, quite a bit over is the community center, and that's the start of that engineering program that's
Yes.
driving that cost up. And of course, the PDs we know are the vehicles. So unless you have any questions on that, I mean, everything's.
Well, the other departments are good, right on track where we need to be.
Right. Okay, and then on the other phones, funds, not phones, the hotel motel tax is up. And the water, of course, is a little high, a lot high, because of having to purchase the water rights, and plus we knew it was gonna be a little over budget. And that's it. Easy peasy. We are currently, I haven't heard from them today, knock on wood, but the audit has officially started today. Ronnie and I pulled all kinds of paperwork all last week. So we got them everything they needed, so they're doing everything virtual, which is nice. And other than that, I don't have anything unless you have any questions.
So they actually don't have to sit in an office and look at you. That's pretty good.
A lot of them have transitioned to that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but, you know, if we can get them everything they need, then, yeah.
No, they did visit us.
Yeah, they have
They
one.
did visit
sorry,
us,
yeah.
but a lot of it can actually be done
Make
virtually.
sure we're really here. And not just on paper.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've been trying to, or forget to bring up, when you do your billing, which will be coming in our next city council meeting, if you could try to rearrange that format. I know when you export it out or print it out, the columns don't line up. So maybe you can eliminate some. It makes it difficult to try to sort through them. You know what I'm talking about with the actual format
Yes.
that you present.
Yes.
And because of the page limitation, a lot of the tabs get rolled over and it kind of mislines everything.
Do you want us to go back to the way the other report was? 'Cause
No, I
only-
like the full report. I like it from day one to the end of the month. I like that format. It's just that the information itself, it carries over, so it's kind of hard to put it together. I managed to do it, but I have to get Excel involved and all this other stuff.
Okay, we'll take
Unless
a
you
look
can make
at
it
it.
available on electronic copy as well.
We can.
Okay, if you can make electronic, then the format you have it in is fine.
Okay,
Okay, that would be great.
we can
And
definitely
just
do that.
include that in the packet mail out,
Okay.
or the email, you know. Okay,
It's more the sales.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's all it is.
Just.
makes it easier to be able to go through
Yeah,
there.
totally understand.
Thank you.
No problem. Anything else? No? Okay.
All right, thank you, Vaughn. Let us know. We're looking forward to that. Good. The
Oh, the
audit.
audit?
Get it done.
I am ready to get it done.
Yeah, too. That would be good. All right. Pamela's back.
I am back. Feeling a little better. Okay, here are our tax and beer and wine collections. We received a total of 118,000, so getting up there, that one's getting up. Was over the month of January, so usually when we picked up all the taxes. Nothing for our beer and wine, and nothing for our beverage taxes yet, because it's low. These were just our department meetings, or we didn't have a lot going on for January. 2 requests for records fulfilled, so year to date I have 2 so far. This for the agendas are published, 5, Brandon's completed 2, ordinances 2, and we passed 8 resolutions. For court, now that I have court, open projects at the internal process, we are pretty much done with that one. I have to pay back to the judge because I had to retype everything out, and he's just gonna go through that. They do have cover training for Brianna and the judge. They'll be attending in March at the conference. Ashley and Brianna will be at Omni training in April. and actually will be in court in June. I did get one for this month coming up, but next week I think they're gonna have this week they're having a luncheon with Omni, and they're actually gonna come down here and actually train them on some stuff that need to be worked on.
Here on site?
On site.
Good.
And these were the citations and violations that were filed. 273 of the citations, violations were 346, and disposed were 65, and disposed of the violations were 70, and those are quarterly or year-to-date. That's all we have so far. I took over from Mr. Meadows, so I just kind of kept going on that one.
Some violations and citations. Okay.
And I think that's it. Oh no, I have another page. Oh, it's part of that. So these were the total ones that we have here for the transactions and everything that was in for collections. So we put some good money there. And that's it. Questions for me?
Council?
Well, how much lead time do you expect before you start seeing the tax flow from Goodwill?
The what?
Tax flow from Goodwill,
So sales tax 2 months behind.
about a 2-month lag? Okay. They're busy.
Oh, yes.
Go by there. Parking lots.
I got some comments to say on the information.
I've already spent money there through my
It was good.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you.
I will say this last month's that we got, which again, 2 months prior, was the highest I'd seen it that we got. And that's not factoring in Goodwill, so just
Yeah.
as an FYI. So,
It's getting busier,
Yeah.
bringing in some more people, so
for
it's
sure.
good.
All right, so on our certificate of obligations that we have, obviously the sewer plant is a completed project as far as the design was included in that. Water system improvements, so the 3 projects listed under that. The booster station, I did stick on here now on all of these, kind of the allotted time per each contract that we have with that. So the booster station is a 6-month project. The likely notice to proceed on that is this coming up in March, and then we'll go out 6 months from that. It ends about August. The plans for that, which more to come information and stuff, but there'll be some minor shutdowns and things that we got to work through. But they're looking for really July timeframe to do that work, but gives them the cushion until that full 6 months would end in August. There's some issues they're experiencing with the generator, so in discussions today, we're trying to figure out, can we do pretty much everything and then kind of shoe in the generator after the fact, at least get that other pump going, so that way we have, and it looks like we can, so we're working through some of that just as of today. The elevated storage tank, so that's a 13.15 month. That was supposed to be, obviously, as we know, February 6, 2026 was the completion of that. Obviously, that did not happen, as we all know. And so they have indicated to y'all a couple meetings back, obviously, that their projected completion is in August, and everything that I have heard from them and our engineer is that is still the case. We will see. The same amount on the 12-inch main loop, so that would be July 23rd, 2026. So obviously not too far out. They're about 55 to 60% complete. They're running into some issues with, as you know, ACE is also the contractor for the sidewalk. So there's some things that we've been talking about timing-wise, but as of right now, that contract is sitting at that July 23rd deadline. So, yeah.
So we technically, council, you're literally looking at the booster, the elevated storage, and the 12-inch main all about the same
August
time.
timeframe.
Now, the good thing about it, and that's one of the things that Zach really hard when we were looking at the actual booster station, because they're going to put a temporary booster pump to kind of keep our pressure up as our backup, so we don't have to take down the water system. And as long as it works, we should be okay. But the reason we're doing it in July is because school is out. So if for some reason something does happen, we won't be affecting our kids, because they're all in one place and everything else that goes along with that. So that's the best month to actually do anything like this. So it's lining up perfectly for us to be able to do that. and give us the flexibility.
So the guys doing this the 12-inch main over here, that's the one that's gonna be over at July?
So the 12-inch main down McDonald here and everything, and what was on Railroad, yeah. So I was told this past week that by April, by the end of April, they will have everything up to 35 completed. What we are running, and they can theoretically turn all that live. What they're running into is some problems with now TxDOT saying they need to start on the sidewalk, and because we were so unabashed by our anger towards how they handled the last sidewalk project in Lytle with that contractor and taking so long, TxDOT put a very close timeline on this sidewalk project being done, and so we're just working through what that looks like. But 80 to 90% of the 12-inch line will be in, and theoretically could be live by the end of April. So.
Yeah.
Taking too long.
Hmm?
To me, they're taking too long. I
They,
don't think it should be that long, but
well,
that's my mind, right?
well, no, there was, and you're correct. It
I
doesn't
think
seem
there-
like it was a little bit longer, yes, but you run into situations because of easements and everything. We had to wait for property owners to give us the okay to do the easements. That kind of slowed us down. And some of these are big companies, and it just takes a while for them to go through the approval for us to be able to do that. So,
Yeah, we honestly, I think ACE and the city expected to be out of the area way before this, but large percentage of it was the easements, and people were not providing them as quickly as we needed them to move forward
sign
with
off,
the project.
say that it was okay. So we had to work through all that before they could actually start. And if you notice, they, especially right here, they jumped around a little bit. They started at one, they came back over here because we were still waiting for other properties to be given the okay.
Well, people ask me, I tell them, oh, it's the weather.
Weather hasn't really been a factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I tell.
Is there any way that you're gonna start the sidewalks before they do under 35?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking to them about right now, is the likelihood is they're going to try to put a valve in right where the bore would have to go for 35. If they do that, again, they can turn everything on, right? It would just be the last little stretch under 35. They would go do the sidewalk project and then come back and do the 35 piece. The problem with that is that's going to pass that July deadline, so that's something we'll have to talk through and figure out. So, but end of April, they can have, again, 85% of it on and ready to go. So,
Legal would have to get involved because of the not finishing the contract on time.
correct, yeah.
Extenuating circumstances.
Yes, yeah, I think that's, well, there'll be more on that, but that's kind of where we're at today, so.
Yeah.
But I feel really comfortable knowing that 80% of it, 85, and they can make it live, and then there's not gonna be any disruption when they have to go back. That's my biggest concern, right? And they feel pretty comfortable with all of that, so.
And don't forget that it's not only running it, but then connecting. So they have to connect like the HEB.
All the connections along
Everything
McDonald
needs
have
to
to
be
go
done
back
on that
in,
too.
yeah.
So they do it in little phases and stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. So.
The city
Yeah,
does
but
it faster.
They put a T in,
Yes.
and they got a blow off, they're gonna cover it up, and then tomorrow they're gonna start right here at the dealership. They're gonna do the dealership and the HEB parking lot,
Yeah.
and they'll be all connected by sometime this week. And they're completely done from there, they're hooked
All the
up
way.
all the way.
All the way through.
They'll be hooked up
Railroad,
and-
from Prairie, Railroad and Prairie, all the way down.
Yeah, they'll be-
So,
So by this week, they should be done right here, those two driveways.
Bueno, bueno.
We should have done it, Pete.
Huh?
It would have been done already if you would have done it.
But there's too much fiber and
Yeah.
telephones everywhere,
yeah.
that's what's slowing them down.
We keep, when they dig, whether it's them or us, we keep finding stuff that we didn't know was, yeah.
Yeah, they found the sewer line, they didn't know where it went to. And I thought it belonged to the old Dairy Queen that used to be there, remember the Dairy Queen? Yeah.
The water line that was abandoned.
They found the gas line that was connected still, that's the old gas line to Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they're finding a lot of stuff, that
What's that?
valves that we didn't even know they were there.
Where does this go?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
how it works.
So, but Pete and the
Yeah.
guys are doing a heck of a job, and they're taking care of business now. Everything is getting marked, everything is highlighted. So, you know, little by little, we're catching all the different places, and we know, you know, just even like that fiber in front of HV,
Yeah.
spraying it, so we know exactly where it's at.
Yep.
And hopefully, we never have to worry about it, but you don't do that. Exactly.
All right, so Saddle Ridge, no real movement on this, other than we will see in the next couple months. We in the back end have been reviewing phases 3 and 4's final plats, so that'll probably come to P&Z and City Council in the upcoming months. And then, you know, they still don't, they've been talking to various builders to finish out, you know, 2 and 5, but until that really happens and they get further along, they'll probably sit on those final plats for a little bit, but at least they'll be done and completed and off our plate. As far as Rosewood, we're up to 81 completed homes in Section 1, 15 are under construction, and I think another 10 or so are sitting in permitting right now. So they obviously, with the interest rate decreasing a little bit, we did see some momentum over in Rosewood in the last couple months. So we're seeing that kind of pick back up. Phase 2, I've been in talks with Pape Dawson, who's the engineer for Rosewood, and they probably will be asking for another 6-month extension here in the near future for Phase 2. They would just like to kind of keep that on the back burner until they get a little further down the road with Section 1, and then go ahead and pull the trigger on that. So that's
No changes.
no changes, just kind of just moving it along. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as Lytle Farms, a lot of movement with this. Mayor and I have an upcoming meeting on Wednesday with the pit attorney for us, as well as their attorneys. There's a lot of, I think we're not on the same page as priority as their priorities right now with it. And so obviously it's kind of stale because of that. So more to come on this, but we're working through those issues and figuring out where we go from here. So.
And just council, just so you know, it has nothing to do with the city of Lytle.
Yeah, no.
Nothing with
No,
us.
definitely not. Definitely not.
It's more their internal stuff they need to figure out.
Yeah, so, and then I stuck this on here now, just kind of other developments that we have and kind of we're tracking and looking at. Lytle Estates, this is the one that is next to Lytle Farms, the Flores piece. Their master development plan was approved last January 2025. There were talks of potentially adding this to Lytle Farms, but that seems to maybe have been shelved given where the developer's at with that one. So I'm thinking we might start to see more movement on this, but just wanted to kind of keep this as a running kind of tally of where we are on various projects. So as of now, that's kind of the last thing we've had on Lytle Estates. Mint Development, this is the approximate 200 home subdivision in the Bexar County portion. As you know, we annexed that particular piece in late September, and we've been working with the developer on the back end with our engineer and myself through the platting and the master development plan process and everything that goes along with that. And then Project Track, there obviously we did get the development agreement fully signed, executed, and was recorded this past week at Bexar County as well as Atascosa County, and then that will trigger them to now start the process to close everything out and look at annexation and that kind of stuff as a part of that. So moving forward on that, and everything's tracking appropriately, so pretty good there. As far as applications received, on the left there, nothing really out of the norm, as well as permits issued for the month. The inspections, you see on the right-hand side, pretty standard for the building and the MEPs. Certificate of occupancies, we had 2, Goodwill, obviously, and Villanova Wellness and Beauty. No fire marshal certificates, and then certificate of compliance was 2, and those were just for residential stuff. Code compliance, January ordinance violations, we had a total of 4 there, 2 bulk violations, 1 high weeds and grass, 1 junk vehicle, 2 illegal dumping cases that he was dealing with, 7 bandit signs removed, 1 permit follow-up, and then the rest of his numbers there on the left. He also issued 3 stop work orders on various permits that had been not pulled, but work had already started. As he's driving around and seeing stuff going on, so pretty standard there. Just updated this a little bit, just added a few more that kind of the standard ones we have, just some things mostly on the right-hand side with the baseball lighting. Obviously that's a long contract that we have for that financing. And then the 2 Civic Pluses, which is kind of an annual website hosting, and then our permitting software that goes along with that. The other update here really is just CPS, and I think we're waiting on the mayor to follow up with Rudy on some things there, but hopefully that'll fall off. It is obviously a contract that's been completed. We were just waiting on that kind of outstanding billing issue. So no other changes there.
So AT&T, everything was settled out?
Oh, no, that one's still kind of out there. So that one's still the normal.
Just the lines have been closed.
Yeah, the lines have, everything's been canceled, return that they've asked for. I have been in talks with Frontera about kind of moving it to the next process of making an actual legal complaint. So we have started to involve Austin in those conversations now. So, yeah. As far as updates, you'll see the meetings there on the left. Obviously the holidays that we had for January. Upcoming events, Lytle Music Fest in March 20th, 21st. The Easter Extravaganza, April 4th, and then Independence Day fireworks, July 4th. Obviously, some of those are a little bit out, but wanted to have that on there as upcoming events. Project updates, so the secondary access for Saddle Ridge, those are the dates that I was told they were going to, but I know that there hasn't been a lot of movement out there, so that March 19th might not be very accurate anymore. But of course that is, I can't really hold them necessarily to that, as it is from their side, but I do know that they've been out there, they've surveyed, they have stakes, that kind of stuff, so there is movement. As far as master drainage plan, they continue to move forward, questions and things going on that. The interconnection was submitted to TCEQ for approval in January, that's with East Medina. We did get the final water and wastewater rate study, the report, so I have all that in hand now, and exploring update conversations as we move forward into the year. The capital improvement plan, we've been going back and forth with Cobb Finley on providing them where certain lines are. They are modeling the system fully with that to really know where we need to be future-wise, so that's kind of stuck out there. Obviously the sidewalk project, we talked about that. And then I did stick the Nueces River Authority on there, the desal project, obviously, as we know. That's just some of the updates that they've provided to us. As of 2 weeks ago, they were at 95% of their capacity, for their phase 1. So not much water reservation left that they have, that they anticipated. Permits have all been obtained. Some are in draft for, various environmental and things like that, but everything is going through their process. They're still in line with their original dates that they were projecting, so they don't see any issues with that. They've had a couple RFPs and RFQs that go out for engineering groups. They've selected a few of those to basically how they're going to divvy up the project. So it is such a large area, but that's going on. And then obviously our ongoing, we're just working on website changes. So.
There's been some information being put out in the news with regards to that. Mm-hmm. If possible, in our next meeting, I'd like to have that added to the executive session. Okay. So we can discuss and see if it has any impact on what we're doing. Okay.
If there is, I would ask, and that's totally fine, we can definitely add that. If there is anything specifically that you're looking for answers, so that way we can
I
have a
can get with you.
productive,
offline
just,
and
yeah, let me know.
you
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
The only for clarification, I just want to add on that one, because the state is really behind it. So, two different projects, one was for Corpus, the other one is for the route, for this one, two separate ones. One got canceled, it was a municipality's decision to do that. That one has nothing to do with this one, this is completely separate. And there's communities, there's a route identified, and because we made a decision to be part of it, we are inside the boundaries of where they're gonna route, so we'll be considered. So this is kind of like our plan C, plan D, you know, for water, for us to have in the future. So again, we can always be included as part of this, and we're gonna be a player. Some cities decided not to be part of it, but the route pretty much gives us the flexibility, so that's why we're included in that, so.
Yeah, I can tell you based on what I've heard, it's a smart move. A lot of cities that don't don't participate in this are gonna reap the downfall of not planning ahead, so it's very good that we're staying within this project.
Yep. So, good stuff. The other thing, Zach, is I don't want to miss out, but just a big picture, we don't need to get into details, but can you let the council know with our food inspection, now, you know, it's good for them to know?
Yeah, so AOCA has been, we do have a dedicated inspector, has been going around. I think he's probably, I looked, I don't have an exact number, but I want to say he's probably visited about 7 to 10 locations in the city. A lot of them are in really good shape, which is great. I mean, that they were already doing what they needed to do. There's some minor things here and there that we have found and complaints we've received or whatnot that he's followed up on. But all in all, doing really well. And Code Compliance now has access to those reports and where he's going. A lot of times he's asked to participate in those inspections with the inspector, just to make sure it's a friendly face and it's someone from Lytle. You know, a city employee, so yeah, but all in all, doing really well and going through.
And this is good because, you know, the rules have changed, certain procedures are a little bit different, and it's always good to go ahead and get somebody with a fresh of everything that is going on. And the other reason too that it's good for us to be able to do this is, I think one of the restaurant owners told us that the last time that they were inspected was
15, 20 years ago, I mean.
So you rely on the state to come in and take a look at it. So it's very important for us to take care of our citizens and those that are visiting us. So I want to say thank you to the council for approving this. This is a good way to make sure that we help our business owners to stay in compliance and do things smartly, be able to take care of our folks. So I appreciate you guys supporting that.
I joke they each get a score that Frank has access to. So I joked he needs to start doing those signs like you see at City San Antonio, like giving them A and B and putting them on the locations. So
We're not going to do the blue plate award,
No,
okay?
we're not.
There's no blue here, okay, Pete?
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna do the black and gold plate award, you know, or the gold plate award or something like that. We'll go with the Pirates, you know? We'll be able to do that. All right. Council, anything else for Zach? Okay, that's been pretty good. Actually, our attorney had given us a call earlier and said that he did not have anything for executive session today, so if it's okay, if we can just put on there, Paula, no discussion and no action taken, okay, on that one, so we don't have to annotate anything on that. Okay? All right, and that was item number 8. So let's go ahead and move on to item number 9, informational items, and we'll go ahead and start here.
No, sir.
Okay. Oh, okay.
no, I'm good.
We're advertising for that open police officer position that we've had open for a while. Second time we've advertised.
That's awesome. Have you gotten some in so far?
No.
No. Okay. It's okay. It's out there. It's out there.
The right person is there. Just like I was the right person for my wife, we will find the right person.
There's always hope.
She never watches on YouTube, so I'm
The problem is it sits there for a long time on YouTube, you know. Devine, anything? Pete?
We'll be out of town tomorrow, Wednesday, and half a day Thursday, be in Austin. We'll be in class. From last month, it got canceled. It's this week, so.
Yeah, and this is a good class for them to take care of. They'll be able to take care of a good portion of their training, so this is good.
The last one before they can test. So.
Yeah.
May I ask, Pete, how's Austin doing?
He's good.
Calm down a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and go back there. Anything? AD, over here in the front. Library, animal care and control. Nothing. Anna?
We have another theology on tap this Friday on the 27th, and it has to do about what my daughter went through the last 4 years behind bars, and she's going to do the talk. It's going to be a really nice night. The last one we had was a big success. Come on out. You don't have to be a drinker. We have sodas you can drink, coffee.
What day is this?
This Friday.
This Friday.
So there's not
Where?
at Baby Huey's. I'm sorry.
Okay.
At Baby Huey's. So yeah, our sales aren't very high, but whatever my daughter wants.
You gotta have fish sticks, you know? Little
Well,
fish
I think
sticks.
they have a vendor coming in. I
Okay,
think
there you
they
go.
do have fish. They are having
Little fish
some
sticks,
kind of
little
fish,
appetizers,
Yeah,
you know?
I think they do have
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So yeah,
Have a little bit of fun.
yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, give me the flag so I can share
Okay.
again. Okay. Nothing? All right, got a few things, wanted to go ahead. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Zach. We've been keeping him very, very busy lately with a lot of stuff and juggling and figuring things out, but he's been able to get everything lined up and we've been doing really, really good. So, appreciate everything you've been doing, Zach, and balancing things out for all of us. All right, other things is I wanted to say congrats to the Goodwill for a great start in Lytle. The first day, the grand opening, they had the largest sales of any grand opening since Goodwill San Antonio started, which is many, many years ago. The Saturday, which was Saturday and Sunday, was half price sales. So even at half pay on Saturday, the Lytle store actually outsold all Goodwill stores in the San Antonio area and south. So they're doing really good.
Super.
Either that or your daughter bought a lot of stuff.
Well, she did.
So, yeah, a lot of people are there. We were even talking about, inventory and the logistics. So they're doing really good. And the other cool thing that they did, they wanted to thank the city for the participation and everything. So we're going to put it back in the room over there. But that was pretty neat. They presented a plaque to us in appreciation for their support and everything they were doing. I think it went very, very well.
Nice scissors.
So, well, definitely, and they come off too.
Oh, we get to use them.
They come off, so you gotta be real careful with them. But all the best to them. We actually have, if I'm not mistaken, I think a third of the employees are from Lytle in this area, and then the rest are from the surrounding communities. And it's pretty neat, in the sense of what they're doing over there, job opportunities, everything. They're concentrating on the store. They're working with the school with the careers portion of it, and they're going to be extending it even more in the future. So stay tuned with that. So, but that is actually taking off. Want to add once again to PD. I know Dr. B mentioned it, but I put it down on there. Thank you for your coverage and taking care of our students during that time that they decided to walk out. I think it was spot on. You guys did a really good job of just being able to keep them safe and be able to get them.
I think, the biggest challenge is just by watching the news, is those situations can become they can dynamically change quickly based on who's driving by and what mood they're in. And that was my biggest fear. I was homesick, I believe, but I was talking to Matt and them and keeping an update on it because I was worried. because I've seen this, you know.
Some of them ended up in the news because of
and I said
miscellaneous
that's,
reasons.
you know, and, you know, it's not like, I mean, you got a major area there with people getting in and off the interstate and major roads are busy, so, when it dissipated, I was, you know, very much relieved because, I really had a bad feeling. But that's okay, we kept everybody on watch.
And Cassandra, I also wanted to give kudos to you and the library staff too, because I know some of the students actually met at the library. That was kind of like the rendezvous point, and then from there, they were doing different things. But you guys did a really good job doing that. I think the little funny part about that is, I think you had some that walked in, they got there, they walked from a school, and then they decided they forgot that they should have gone to the restroom. So they asked to use the restroom facilities before they continued on, so I was like, okay, a little bit of planning, you know, to do that, so.
Our community doesn't have a lot of experience protesting stuff, you don't think about that kind of stuff.
So,
You know,
but, yeah, one of the parents, it was enlightening, and so I really appreciate it. And some of the parents responded really quick as soon as they got the notification from the school, and yeah, they took care of business, and they took care of their child. So, but just to let you know, we appreciate what you did over there and working closely with the PD too. I want to thank Public Works and the city staff taking care of the community center and the Gidley home, cleaning it out, getting everything set up. So I really appreciate the extra effort being able to do that. Council, if you didn't even notice, you know, another shout out for Public Works when you came in and you were parking on the side over here. Anybody notice something was missing?
The pole's missing.
The pole's missing.
Who ran it over?
We put it at the
Who ran
mayor's
it?
It's in the mayor's house.
That pole has been there for years and years. It used to be the pole that had the cabling to hold up the police antenna that used to be in the back corner. So that pole needed to go, and without anybody asking, they took care of business and stuff.
And they paved where the hole was.
Yeah, they paved that. So kudos on Public Works taking care of that. I also want to say Public Works too, we had somebody visiting the outside of our school out there on 681 that actually backed up into one of our fire hydrants. Tilted it, didn't bust it, but it tilted it. But they went out there and actually moved it.
Moved it back a little bit.
Yeah, moved it a little bit more so it's not as vulnerable, and put it back online. So just to let you know, Public Works folks took care of that. We have a walkathon that is coming up. The primary school, Lytle Primary School, is putting this on over at the track. It's on the 20th of March. So if you're interested in participating with that, please reach out to the primary. They have all the details with that. Pretty neat event that they actually put together to try to do that. Got something that came from Commissioner. This is Bexar County Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores. She wanted to let us know that March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. It's a full month of activities and awareness messages. She personally has gone through a situation, and she wanted to make sure that the emphasis was put on there for March. So Bexar County is making a big push, and she's one of the big advocates to do that. So please keep an eye out for literature, let other folks know. It's very important that folks that haven't gotten screened, to go get screened. There's certain ages that they ask you, if you haven't done it, to go out there and get checked out. Be able to do that. We got Music Fest on the 20th and the 21st of March. I tell you what, it's building up. A lot of interest, a lot of people talking already, a lot of things happening. So please stay tuned. We're going to be sending some additional flyers Teresa was working on. Highlight a little bit more of the performances. The cool thing about this is how one of the things, in a small way, but in one of the ways we're going to kick off our 75th anniversary. So we're going to start it off in there. We'll go to the 4th of July, put a little bit more emphasis on that. And then in the fall, we're going to have another event to really celebrate, which is what we actually got incorporated. Please get the word out on that. The cool thing about the 21st of March on that Saturday is that Little League is going to kick off that day. So in the morning, Little League kicks off, they start playing, and when the game's end, the Music Fest starts. So, and they're working with the vendors, they're working all that. Our Little League here is really taking the lead and really helping us out. So,
Is it just baseball that can be played in that park? There's nothing else that can be played there, right?
For right now, that's what can be played. At a certain point, we turn it over to them and they have control because they prep the fields and do all that. But when it's not under the Little League, the season's over and stuff, you wanna have a kickball tournament or something?
Oh, I was just saying, cause it's a sportsplex, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
there should be a baseball plex.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be opportunities, and don't forget that as we get busier, now that we have that, we are looking at having somebody to oversee the whole park. You know, not only work it, but oversee, somebody's gonna have to manage it. Because now that we're gonna have the lights, and we're gonna have all that, we're gonna run through the first season and let Little League kind of figure out things. But then after that, we're gonna have to have some sort of management, because when it's off season, you know, you can use it, and we wanna use it for tournaments, you know. Folks to come in, spend time here, spend their money, stay in our hotel. So there's gonna be opportunities in the future. So, to include a kickball tournament.
Is there opportunity to, make, clear land there and make, soccer fields and stuff like that?
I don't think we have the room for that.
Not at this time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's room, but that's why I'm saying, can you clear some of that open area that we
Where would
have?
you put them? Where are you thinking about?
I feel like you.
Like where the basketball courts are, all the way to that whole side where the little mountain's at. All that whole side can be 2 or 3 baseball fields, soccer
We
fields.
would need to take a look at it, because I know, and we can put it up for discussion agenda, but the main thing is that we don't wanna take away from the room that we're gonna need, because you're gonna have a lot of people.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
You're gonna have a lot of people. So, but talk to Zach, so we can go ahead and take a look
And
at
then
it.
you also don't want to take away from the general recreation part of it, where the kids can come and play, they can come and bring in their.
Sit to watch the.
Exactly.
Or maybe something smaller like Twister.
There you go, there you go, there you go. All right, the other thing we got is Easter event on the 4th of April. Please get the word out, you know, the staff does a great job. How many eggs are you thinking this year?
I don't even wanna say,
Last year we had how many?
24,000.
24,000. Yeah, 24,000. So a lot of eggs, a lot of candy, but I tell you what, all the kids have a blast. Lots and lots. And the dentists around the area love it. So it works out.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by.
I'll bring you my card.
I know. It's
Not a bad idea.
I'll bring you my card.
do that. The last thing I have for you for council to consider, and it's not for discussion, if you're interested, let Zach know, we'll talk about it on Wednesday. But Poteet has invited us to participate in their Poteet Strawberry Festival parade. It's on the 11th of April, and they want to know if we're interested in doing that. So if you are interested, let Zach know today, tomorrow, so on Wednesday when I come into the City Hall, we can talk about if we are going to participate as a group. They really want to get us involved. I know they asked last year very lightly, and this year they're being like, we really want you to participate. So,
The parade's pretty good.
yeah. So if you guys are interested, and we'll do it as a group. You know, we'll do it as a group. Go out there. So if you guys are interested, please.
Do you
Let's,
know the date?
11 April. 11 April. So, Saturday.
Brains on Saturday.
Yeah.
Take all our trucks.
So we'll be able to do that. So, food for thought, just so you kind of have an idea. Last thing I have is birthdays. We have, the only one that is still outstanding is Michael's. So on the 26th, make sure you don't forget to take care of that. Okay, with that in mind, is there anything else? Any last minute information to share? All right, with that in mind, it is 7:50 p.m. And I'd like to get a motion for us to
Make
adjourn.
a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion? Do I have a second? Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you for a great meeting. Appreciate it. You got stuff in the back? There's stuff in the back.
Olive garden.
There you go, Sam Christie. Good meeting.